is Shahade. I'm the Chief Curator here at the World Chess Hall of Fame. And tonight we have a great program. It's a pop-up chess demo, which is bringing together the most talented and greatest chess women players who are here in St. Louis playing in the U.S. Women's Chess Championship, and our current initiative to get women more involved in the game. So currently right now, we have two exhibitions here at the Hall of Fame that deal about women in chess. You are standing in the middle of Ladies' Night, a female perspective on chess, which has 12 contemporary artists who have interpreted the game, some of them in a very artistic way, some of them trying to make political statements about beauty. So if you haven't had a chance to view the whole exhibition, please do so. Jennifer Shahade is one of our exhibiting artists too, which I'll be introducing shortly. And then upstairs we have Her Turn, Revolutionary Women of Chess, which is dealing with women chess players from the 19th to the 21st centuries. So please check that out as well. We also started a ladies chess lesson initiative this year with the Chess Club, which is blowing up. We have it's taught by grandmasters from Webster University, and all of this is made possible by the generosity of Jeannie and Rex Field. So please give them. So we're looking at Bug House, Blitz, what else? Blindfold, Bullet, yes. And uniquely tonight, we are letting the chess players play on some of the art pieces. So Yoko Ono's Play It by Trust will be played on. And Crystal Fischetti's Sun and Moon, she gave permission from that. She's very excited, and our generous lenders have let us play with Yoko Ono's set. Now don't get confused, you can't touch anything. So let me introduce our wonderful host, tonight's chess champion and author, Jennifer Shahade. She's an advocate for female chess players, a two-time U.S. Women's Champion, author, artist, poker player, board member of the World Chess Hall of Fame, and commentator of the U.S. Championships and the Singfield Cup. Her co-host will be Maurice Ashley, doing commentary of the game. Wonderfully was inducted into the U.S. Chess Hall of Fame this year. Congratulations, Maurice. Big round of applause. First African-American international grandmaster and an advocate for the Ferguson-Florissant School District, and has been inspiring children on character building and the great effects on chess. Also commentator for our championships in the Singfield Cup. And is Yasser here? Yes. Good shout out to Yasser, Sarah. He is the third and final member of our all-star commentary team, live for the U.S. and U.S. Women's Championships and the Singfield Cup, and just very humbly the four-time U.S. champion. So welcome to all of you tonight. Really exciting event. Great to see so many faces here tonight. So I'm going to hand this over to Jennifer. Enjoy.
Thank you so much, Shahade. I'm going to start over here because our first event is going to be a blitz game, but with a twist. Our two players today are actually going to be playing with all white chess pieces. So it's kind of a cross between blitz and blindfold. Now, why are we doing this? This piece by Yoko Ono, Play It by Trust, originally created or conceived of in 1966, is based on the idea that if two people play chess on this set, at some point they'll get so confused about who's white and who's black that it will no longer become a game of chess and there will be no more war, and this is the pacifist version of chess. Now, I don't actually know what's going to happen, which I think is really fun, because I've never seen anyone play blitz in this chess, but I do know that usually strong players, when they play on Yoko Ono's Play It by Trust, they remember a little bit more than you might expect. So I'd like to introduce our two competitors with no further ado. We have Naji Pakidze, and she's actually leading the women's championship right now, so. Yeah, so come on down. And by random draw, we had Naji playing white. So. I was trying to play black. Oh, are you trying to play black? Oh, she wants to play black. Okay, fair enough. So our second opponent for this game is Alyssa Melikina. Lawyer by day and chess champion by night. So what we're gonna do here actually is, because they're playing blitz, we don't want them to play the entire game on this set. So we're just gonna play a few moves, and then we're gonna move to this board over here, which you actually see projected on these two monitors.
You know, Jennifer, one of the challenges of playing this out, playing against Sylvester, was some photo. We were getting photographed earlier, and the officer used one of my pawns to take one of my. He did that on purpose, by the way. So this is very confusing to do. We'll have to see how the ladies can handle it.
And get started. You can just play 3 moves each, and then we'll move over there. So we have a Sicilian to start off.
I'm gonna close Sicilian where we're all confused already. All right, that's enough. That's enough.
That's way more than 3 moves. Sorry, guys. I was just getting perplexed. But you can now move over there and actually play with the clock.
Now the photographs on the way, they got 5 minutes. Do they have increment? I see a 5:02.
Yeah, there is a 2-second increment for this one only. I know Maurice is not a big fan of increments. The only one where we're going to be using increment today.
Oh, we're gonna be here all night. Okay, so could we repeat the moves?
Without the clock, yeah.
All right, I think everybody can see the boards, and here we go. So we got a close Sicilian going,
Soon is gonna get tricky.
and they're whipping out the moves.
Very typical plan here for Najee, and I actually think I played on this set before too. I lost to Grandmaster Lev Albert on it, and I definitely lost because of the position, not because I forgot the.
There's an advantage on this board though, the squares are actually light and dark squares, right? Unlike that Yoko Ono board where there is no distinction, but it's light and dark over here.
Well, they
Although
are.
there is raised
Yeah.
squares, right?
When they get,
So how many people think that white is going to win at this point?
I think white's better.
But it's supposed to be a draw.
Oh, now that gets interesting.
And there's a massive conglomeration of knights in the middle of the board, and whose knight is whose is a real issue.
You have 3 white knights on E2, E3, and E4. But we know from the structure of the, I've kind of lost track, but I know from the structure that the knight on D4 must be Najee's.
Oh yeah. Otherwise it would be hanging to the pawn on C5, so we got problems. But there's a pawn storm happening, and 2 pawns just got traded off. And this structure actually lends itself to something you can follow because it's just such a typical kind of structure. So they're playing into something that they're comfortable with.
Yeah, I think that's a really excellent idea. I'm not sure if I suggested it to Alyssa, maybe I said to Najee, that if you play a structure, a pawn structure, it's a lot easier to remember, like a French, or something a little bit more closed.
Right, Alyssa just moved her knight to a pretty intense square.
Intense.
I don't want to say what it's threatening, obviously, but. All right.
Both players are completely equal in time so far.
And she's gone into a pretty big time square, and that looks like. And now the black pawn structure looks awesome, except there's a white pawn in E6, so the black pawn structure looks terrible.
Who says it's a white pawn? I challenge you.
Well, I'm actually paying attention. I know you don't ever pay attention, Lawrence, but I'm actually paying attention.
Yeah. Nazi, he takes a 5.
So now the white pawn has made it all the way to E7 inside the black camp. It would look like a perfect pawn structure if those were all black pawns. But it turns out that the pawn on E7 is actually a white pawn.
Can't black play E6 here?
Fabiano Cabrera is convincing the position right now.
But he doesn't know what he's talking about in this position. Making the players nervous, no doubt.
Lawrence is helping him. Yeah, that's right.
That makes it even worse.
What do you think of this position, Rex?
So the queen has jumped to H5, and now the knight dropped off the board. So it's a little bit easier to know which knight is which minor piece is which, because white has a bishop and black has a knight, so they won't confuse that at all.
And I know you love this imbalance, Maurice.
With that pawn on E, okay, now we finally, nothing to worry about with that pawn off of E7, but the white rook has crashed through on F6, so black has to be very careful here.
Who says it's a white rook?
Who said it's a black rook? Looks
Nazi
white to
has
me.
3 rooks.
We got some real serious kibitzers in Caruana and Hess, no, that's not Hess.
No.
That's Trent.
Now I'm confused because I looked away for a few seconds.
But both players are doing an incredible job in remembering everything, that's for sure.
Black is, I thought White was attacking, but it's like Black is attacking all of a sudden. Black has pushed his pawn to G4. How are you guys following this on this board at all? That overhead view is terrible.
This view, we have this view over here as
The
well.
angle view is a little bit better, but even watching it is confusing. It's incredible. Which rook is rook? So the rooks are double on F5.
There's a black rook on E7
So she's looking to trade off rooks right now.
No, I didn't follow it, but when you still follow it.
And a check. A black pawn is now sitting on G3. Looks like a nice, good white pawn, but unfortunately for white, it's actually a black pawn. But it's pretty wild position, pretty balanced.
Yeah, just really incredible the level of blitz in this, considering that they both only used a minute and a half and they remember where all the pieces are.
5, look at this move. Bringing the queen into the game, trade of rooks. And position is absolutely crazy.
Any thoughts, Bobby?
Black and white.
And now white is ahead by a pawn, sitting on D5. Offering a trade of queens. And the queens have been traded off. I think their secret is to simplify the position.
That's right.
So they don't have to look at so many crazy pieces. But white does have a pawn on D5. So that does mean something here. Black pawn on G3. You know, if we were trying to make chess popular, this would not be the way to do it.
Yeah, I think Yoko Ono wanted to destroy chess with this method. She said that she wanted it to become a peaceful game where you would forget whose pieces are whose, and it would end up being a draw.
Well, these ladies are doing a great job. It looks like white has gobbled a second pawn. And good constellation in the middle. White is up. It looks 2 pawns. But the rook trying to get into the game, the black rook. Alyssa playing very carefully. She has 2 minutes and 53 seconds left on the clock. So should be enough time in a blitz game, but the black knight just dropped back.
Ready to blockade on the D6 square, which
is
has come up in our commentary already.
Though she's up 2 pawns, it's hard to get these pawns rolling. Seems as though black has some really good counterplay coming. And now white would gain control of the board, but not in a clear, absolutely clear way to make progress in this position. She's threatening on G6.
Maji trying to get some activity with her rook.
Okay, defending well. Fork, check to the king. And now the minors are all off the board.
And does everybody remember which rook is on F1? The black one.
So 2 pawns up is white. Can she make this work for her? Black definitely has some play, but white has 2 passed pawns, so it's going to be tricky. And she gets her rook behind one of them.
Black with an extra minute on the clock. And of course, Maurice and I are both wearing purple because we thought we wanted to mirror the all-white chess set.
We got to add some color to this.
And purple Tatev also.
And now the D6 pawn is racing. Black goes over to get that. Now the H pawn is going down the board. So white definitely trying to make use of her extra pawns here. And there goes one. The white kings are facing each other right now. And the rook drops back. H pawn all the way down the board. Now the pawn is passive. It looks like that pawn is about to drop off the board. And with the check, and it looks as though white is in control of this game now, up 2 pawns, clean, and greedily holding on to her pawn. very difficult for black to defend this position now.
That's right, with the passive rook.
Drop her king back. Be some rook and pawn technique should take this home. Check to the king. And there goes the white king into the position.
Yeah, this
It's
is.
very difficult to hold now. White is in complete control. And Nazi hasn't lost a game in all these championships, but she's finally lost one today. Congratulations to Alyssa.
Perfect, and absolute perfect recall of the game. No problems at all.
Yeah, nice. We could do this, huh? Maybe we should put in a championship like this.
Except that Alyssa and Nachi maybe have a bit of more of a headache than they would after a normal blitz game. So Yoko Ono's plan failed. The game is still very playable. As we get set up for the next portion, which is something that I've always wanted to see more of, Bunkhouse. So we've got a serious Bunkhouse competition that's about to start. We've got 4 players playing Bunkhouse. Anybody who's not aware of Bunkhouse, it's partner chess in which every piece that you take, you give to your opponent. In general,
Your partner, not your opponent.
oh, did I
You said
misspeak?
give to your opponent.
Okay. So first, Bunkhouse is mostly played by youngsters. Whenever you teach a chess camp, you know that on the break, 100% of the time, people will be doing one thing in the break, and that's playing Bunkhouse. So our women's championship this year is very young. We've got the youngest women's chess championship in history, in fact, including a 12-year-old girl, Carissa Yip. So she's broken numerous records, including becoming the youngest female ever to defeat a grandmaster, the youngest expert, and the youngest woman master. So it's very exciting to have her here with us. And it'll be fun to watch her play some Bunkhouse with her partner, Agata by Katsep. And we also have...
Agata's allowed, she's 16, she's old.
She's not allowed in the Bunkhouse competition.
Same.
And their opponents, Jennifer Yu.
She's also 16, she's old too.
14.
Oh, she's 14? Jennifer's only 14? I thought there were 2 16-year-olds.
No.
Wait, so it's a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 14-year-old, 15-year-old, and 16-year-old? How come we didn't pick up on that in the broadcast? Now we know.
So every different age is represented. So you guys can take your seats. So Agata and Carissa are going to be partners, and Ashrita and Jennifer are partners. That's how everybody plays, right?
Wait, is it dropping?
Yeah.
Is it dropping?
Drop me, of course.
And dropping.
Black starts the clock.
Wait a minute, how are you going to watch Bunkhouse on 2 different boards? Do you consider this?
The pressure, but I have no idea.
You know, boy, it's kind of weird, but
You can go further back if you want to be able to see both monitors.
I'll also argue chess is something, I grew up watching chess in parks. And one of the great things about watching chess in the parks was we stood around the board the way the players are doing right now. So I think that if you really want to see the spectators, should be allowed to stand around as long as they don't block the filming.
Yeah, let's do
So if you
it.
really want to see it, everyone, you can just come, stay in the back, come on closer, stay in the back so you can really watch. Because watching from a distance is just about impossible. Alright, are you comfortable? Everybody can view, as long as you don't block the cameras that are filming this for posterity, then it's perfectly fine.
And you guys know that Carol Drecke has just approved that this will be the tiebreaker for the women's championship, right?
$5 a bit.
Let's get started.
Alright. Bunkhouse is pure insanity, and anybody can lose. There's strategies around how you open, and already Jennifer is just being hyper-aggressive, sacrificing a knight, and begging for material. Look at that.
Don't give her any knights.
Don't give her any knights, Carissa says.
This is one of the only times you can actually talk during a chess game, and it's allowed. Of course, it's required actually to discuss variations, not moves themselves, but what you want. So they're looking for stuff.
Rolanda Ronian, known as one of the best blockhouse players in the world, or the best, always playing during the St. Field Cup.
Do you need a phone? Yeah. That's mine.
So Alejandra Ramirez legging Krista, she's managed to defend by getting a pawn on G6 and a knight on F6.
Uh-oh, the F7 square comes under big time attack in this opening. Really big attack, so Ashrita has to watch out because her F7 square is
Wait for her to move.
and her clock is less right now, so she has to be very careful.
Wait, hold on. She's in trouble. I know.
Okay,
And then
I'm gonna
Queen
cause
has shown
trouble.
up to defend the position.
Queen coming up. Okay.
And now black is going to go down a queen guarantee, but that doesn't mean much in Bughouse. It's just a queen.
Just give me the phone.
White knight on F7 trapping Ashrita's queen.
So Ashrita has now removed the knight, but this may not help her in the long run as her position is in a little bit of crisis.
Bughouse, generally the F7 square comes under fire in
So
the
now
very
the black
beginning of the
king
game.
marching on the board in this position, and the black king in trouble on the other board. So big advantage to either side. Who will do it first is the question.
Give me pieces.
White has 2 queens on this board. Black's king pretty much protected on the other side, so it is really up to Jennifer to figure out how to help her partner, because her partner is in real trouble on this side. Now defending is Ashrita, and look at all those crazy chaotic pieces on that side.
Where's Yasser? Yasser is the Bughouse pro. That's right. What do you think of the play so far, Yas? White's in trouble. Black's in trouble over here, though.
And it's hard to talk about trouble in Bughouse because the game changes so rapidly. You do really want to just get as many pieces as possible in your hand so that you can make it work. But in the meantime, there's nothing more dangerous than somebody able to drop pieces and attack the mess out of you. Knights are also superior in Bughouse as well.
Knights are superior to bishops and even to rooks.
Oh yeah, rooks are basically garbage in Bughouse. Knights jump over stuff automatically because they can drop down. So the time yet not a real factor. The advantage does go with Carissa and Agatha though because they're ahead on the clock, but that can change rapidly in Bughouse. Any pause and suddenly you're behind on the clock. So, whoa, but it looks like a steaming attack on that side. Carissa with a huge position. Big problem for Jennifer in her game, trying to figure out how to defend this position. Down a queen and being aggressed dramatically, and now both sides are in trouble. It looks like Carissa and Carissa and Agatha have fantastic positions right now. Fantastic attacking games.
My queen. Oh yeah, this is a check.
And now a queen has appeared. And it's pure desperation on both sides. The attack is working heavily.
I should have
I would say that
somewhere.
it's pure desperation. As long as they avoid being mated in some kind of way, it's just about over. Dramatic advantage for Agatha and Carissa. Both attacking. That's not what you want when you're playing Bughouse. Both of them attacking right now.
Play fast. Get me stuff.
And the attack continues. The black king over here is way out in front, but she can't figure out how to get at them. The knights are protecting. Black with 2 queens on that board over there.
Both running mate in one.
Both sides with huge advantages.
Do you have mate? Yeah. I'll stall it. Just give me more pieces.
Jennifer preventing the mate, but
Okay.
Big advantages, big sacrifice. She found a fantastic sacrifice. That is indeed a fantastic move on Carissa's part. A huge queen sacrifice because she has a second queen, and now somehow Jennifer has to hold her off.
We only have a couple of seconds.
But nothing is coming her way.
You have mate?
On the edge of the clock, there's one of the things about Bughouse, the strategy is to freeze. Don't move at all because you have more time than the person who's desperate. And right now, Agatha is just sitting because she has more time than Jennifer. And Jennifer, without a move, without pieces coming at her because Agatha has frozen her out, she's just stuck with the position on her side only, and with nothing at all to use, she's just being mated. And she's just looking. We could sit here for the next minute and 53 seconds until her flag falls, but it's not going to help.
and this
Because
is
here
the
comes the
idea.
mate in 1 on this board.
Okay, good. We have a couple seconds.
Well, there's no reason to move. Jennifer cannot move. Jennifer cannot move, and Agatha refuses to move. So the situation is really resignable. And she has moved, and it's made in 1. So the game is over. Checkmate.
Very
Great
nice.
strategy on the part of Agatha and Carissa. Fantastically complex game.
Wow, beautiful bughouse game there by you guys.
Very well played. Really well played. You did a good job. These young ladies are scary.
So, bughouse, for those of you who haven't played it yet, after that, you'll certainly want to start playing.
All right, so what is the next? What's next
Bullet!
up?
Bullet is next.
Bullet. Who goes next? Bullet. Just to make it really crazy.
That's right. We are going to get set up for Bullet, and our first pairing is going to be between Katerina Nemtsova and Akshita Gorky. And we're going to start it off with a 3-minute game. So
That's not Bullet. That's 3 minutes.
Well, we're getting faster and faster. So it starts with 3 minute, then 2 minute, then 1 minute, no increment.
All right,
delay,
who's setting
no
the clock?
increment.
Are we setting up here?
Yeah.
All right, where's Akshita?
So Katerina and Akshita. Katerina from the local Western team. Where is Katerina? Oh, there she is.
Are we choosing for colors?
Yeah, let's choose for color.
Get over here, ladies.
Old-fashioned way.
Let's get somebody to do this. Let's get
Carol.
choosing behind. All right, Akshita, you're the younger one. And you get the white pieces. All right, you're over there.
Over there, Akshita, and Katerina. Katerina, you're
Katerina, you're black.
No, it's okay.
Someone said this clock while
Look over your head.
Oh, this is for 2 minutes. All right, so Akshita is the second youngest player in the women's competition. She's already won 2 games. Wait, what? Did you 2 guys play already? Did you 2 play? What was the result? So, just as a note, I'm sure Katerina doesn't want me to remind everybody about this, but Akshita did defeat Katerina in the competition so far, so this is sort of a grudge match for Katerina, as far as she's concerned. So we can get started, ladies.
Get started and know that the board is duplicated over there, so anybody who can't see, but if you can see that monitor, you'll be able to watch.
All right, let's get it going.
Yeah, perfect.
Jennifer, you know, coming from New York City, I'm used to having a lot of noise when we play chess in the parks. But we can use some music also. We used to listen to music and play as well. So it doesn't matter how much noise. These ladies stay perfectly focused on the moves they have to play anyway.
Absolutely. So we're starting with a more quiet system. And we are going to go from 3 minutes to 2 minutes to 1 minute, culminating with a 1 minute match with our current reigning champion, Irina Crush. So the idea is for it to just get faster and faster.
Just play your
I
shot.
mean, you play a lot of blitz. 3 minutes is almost forever. I mean, people play 5-minute blitz. I think it's a long time, but nowadays it's like 3 minutes is standard. Especially online. Online, 3 minutes is like a year. And now it bursts into the center of the board with the move E4. Akshita has expanded.
I'm at board with you.
The race is 3 minutes plus 2 seconds.
Come on, you're running.
No, it's not.
No, it's 3 minutes.
In FIDE.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
I mean, in FIDE.
Carol directly pointing out that for international blitz competitions, it's a 3 minute game with a 2 second increment. It's
Yeah.
very different.
We don't care about the increments. We just go for it. You got 3 minutes and that's it. Your time runs out.
And so getting low on time is really dangerous. Already Katerina with a 20-second advantage.
But I gotta say, White's position was very solid. She's preventing a knight from coming into F4. And White has some space, but Black's gonna have to figure out how to handle the structure in order to try to get some kind of advantage here. But certainly White has space. So her time has ticked down pretty rapidly as she's trying to figure out what the next move should be. And she's made a KG King move to H8.
Katerina's sister, right here, taking a couple picks.
She actually comes from a chess playing family. Lots of champions in her family. And we have quite a bit of that here. Sabina Foyster watching on. She comes from a chess playing family as well.
And
Families who play together, stay together.
that's right.
I don't know about that. In my
So
family,
many.
we hated each other.
Katerina proudly wearing her Western University jacket.
I think she ended up bursting through with this move E5, a very important moment in the game as White has decided to expand with the move E5, very threatening as White's pieces are certainly better placed than Black's.
So the game will be over now for the last game.
An exchange on E5 of pawns. And again, a slightly more space, or actually quite a bit more space for white. The question is, how will black counter this spatial advantage that white has been building? And a big move, F5. Very provocative move in the position. She felt like she needed it so that her knight could get back in the game. But certainly a sharp decision to play F5.
Right, she's ahead in the pot now, trying to think of a way to continue the attack.
And she's decided that this pawn was worth taking, and she's taking a pawn on the e6 square, so temporarily black is down a pawn. Now queen dropping back, so white is ahead by a pawn, and it looks like a real pawn at that. Not sure what the compensation is. Black's going to have to prove, and she dropped her bishop back.
We're playing a little slow for Lincoln, I think.
That's what's going to cost here. It's 1 minute and 14 seconds. She's traded off. Bishop takes knight, and the pawn must take back. She couldn't take back with the queen because she would have lost her bishop. And now Achina's trying to press home the edge. Knight to d5, attacking the queen at the moment. She's moved it to the center of the board. And now offering a trade of queen for this move, and she has accepted the trade of queens, has Archita. And can she deal with the two bishops? She's up a pawn, but certainly the two bishops favor black, but it's not clear that she'll be able to hold this position easily as the white pieces are starting to grow in scope.
If you're having trouble seeing from over there, there's a lot of good views of the other monitor over there.
And now the time is under a minute. 56 seconds for Archita, 46 seconds for Katerina. Now bishop has been traded off, so we have a position with opposite colored bishops on the board. Bishop now jumping in to d6. And there might be some Troyish tendencies in this position, despite being up a pawn. I'm not sure this trade was great for white. We'll see how this works out for her. She continues to trade off pieces, and will she be able to win this position despite being a pawn up? She has only 37 seconds, both sides, with only 37 seconds on the clock. They're going to have to giddy up now. Bishop dropping back, bishop going to b5. Oh, and a fork!
Wow.
But it's not enough because she's pinned. She had to move out of it, and now knight dropping in, and the blitz game is afoot. Knight dropping in with check, and now she's won back her pawn as Katerina. Now a hunt for the pawns on the queen side, and now there are massive trades happening. And look at this. She has saved her pawns, has Katerina. Now she's going after pawns herself. So only 18 seconds for the youngster. The black king now dominating in the middle of the board, and Archita is going down. She has had to resign, an unfortunate occurrence, given that she had a big edge. Katerina Nemtsova with the win.
Wow.
An amazing comeback win on the part of Nemtsova in that game.
That was way too slow. So now we're gonna make it 2 minutes. With Tatev Abrahamian and Sabina Poitier. Every single woman who's playing in the championship this year is playing one of the variants. So we're down to just a few players left.
No one's betting.
2 minutes.
Tatev Abrahamian is trying to dye her hair in honor of me and Maurice tonight.
You don't have any dollars.
So fine.
You have no
Could
dollars.
you do the honors papers behind your back? Wait, don't let Sabina see. Did you do it? Okay. And Sabina gets the white pieces.
Now this particular game is very important because the 1 minute game, the most degenerate form of chess of all, is going to be played by our reigning champion, Irina Krakch. The winner of this game is going to play her.
So what happens if someone makes
You have the best curly hair outside of me.
No, I'm just playing.
Do you agree with that?
She asked what happens so much.
Legal move loses.
Like this.
We have a TD over there.
It's really good. It's really good.
So
You
2 minute
probably have to play a
chess.
1 minute game, but I don't expect a draw to happen too often.
Ridiculous.
All right, so we have two ladies who played the U.S. Championships many times. They've faced each other before. Now it's time for some 2 minute chess, so let's get started.
Is my hair worse than
May the fastest lady win.
And the pace, really, you can almost not hesitate in 2 minutes. You just maybe get a little bit of time to hesitate, but not much. Because if you stop and think for just a few seconds, you just throw away a big percentage of your time. And now this move, bishop to f5, chasing the rook away from b1. So white has lost a tempo, now trying to gain it back with her last move. And now gaining space in the center. b5 thrust, very typical of the Fianchetto King's Indian. Now c5, b4, attacking the knight. And we're expecting that knight to move, and it is left into the D5 square. And now a trade on C5, and the pawn structure has certainly changed dramatically in the position. Black having gotten the right to concede something in the middle of the board. And now an attack on the knight on D5. We're expecting it to find a square, and it is traded off. And now bishop H6. And offering the trade of her King's Indian bishop. Queen D2, Queen E7. And now white trying to get some kind of play down the D line, now trading off the dark square bishop.
Patrick seems to be the faster player, partly because the clock is well positioned. I think she also has more experience in blue. So if this comes down to 10 seconds each, it's going to be dangerous for white.
She has purple hair too,
That
the
makes her
reason.
faster, yeah.
That's the reason.
And now the position is sort of stabilized, and white is looking for a plan. Not so easy to find, so she just played H4, A5, and now finding G5 for her knight. And the D4 square for the black knight, very typical in the King's Indian, to find such a square, and it's going to be a troublesome knight on this square. Queen back, and now pressing the attack on the queen side with extra time on the clock as well. Looks like black has taken over the initiative. Trade of pieces, trade on A4. Up a pawn temporarily is white. It doesn't look as if there's too much value right now, so she's going to have to figure out a way to undermine that knight. She's played F4, looking to undermine the knight on D4. Is it yet enough, or is it just weaken her position? Black with lots of options here. She's taking on A2, and white with only 34 seconds, needing to come up with some kind of plan in the position, but black pieces look off better than white for the moment. Giving pauses, Tata trying to figure out what to do to get in this position. And she's found a move, queen to G4, threatening.
Yeah, worth them.
And queen F4 looking to trade off queens. And gladly trading so she can push her B pawn. That looks like a dangerous pawn, at least for the moment. 19 seconds for Foyser in this position. Rook back. And defending tenaciously is Foyser with only 15 seconds left, 52 seconds on the clock. B2, now chasing the knight dropping back to attack a pawn. And the white pawn's trying to go down the board, down a pawn for the moment, and now rook D5, challenging the knight, only 8 seconds left on the clock, and pawns are dropping off the board. Now knight to D2, a big time move. But look at this sacrifice. She cannot accept because of mate on the back rank, and oh, another sacrifice, but only 5 seconds on the clock. Will she have enough time to win the game as white has completely turned the game around? She has 4 ticks on the clock. She must deliver mate because of her terrific time situation, and now she's doubled rooks, and she has a mating formation for sure. Will she complete it in 3 seconds? Rook takes, still 3 seconds left, 2 seconds left on the clock, and another trade, and it's mating one with 1 second on the clock. Amazing turnaround, an incredible victory on the part of Sabina Foyser. Beautifully played, amazing game.
I had to drop the mic to applaud for that. Pretty incredible. And Irina Crush.
Congratulations, Sabina. You get to play again.
Well, we choose the color. Yes, so Irina Crush, a reigning champion, 7-time women's champion, is now going to be playing a 1-minute game against Sabina. So the fastest game yet. Rexing Field.
Irina shows in white. Fair enough. When we play chess, normally we switch colors. So Sabine gets to go in there with the black pieces after a heart palpitating game. That was absolutely magnificent to watch. And now we got that on film.
And now Sabina already warmed up. Although I can imagine Irina spent all morning playing for the game.
Sabina really showed something when she was down on the clock, so I think she's really good at 1-minute stuff. As long as she keeps the pace with ladies, it's time for the bullet game. Shake hands, let's get started. And the game is underway. They have played an exchange Slav on the board, a couple of trades, and now the pieces coming out. This is one game you cannot hesitate. You must just trust your instincts and go. Any hesitation could just cost you time on the clock, and it's completely irrelevant almost what moves you make, although I'm sure Hikaru Nakamura would disagree with me, but trades happening quickly, and it's a fairly even position except a slight edge. White has created a little bit of an edge for herself in this position, and now B5 chasing the knight. and knight to a5, and there's a knight on c5, but there goes a knight on c4, now dropping back. And this kind of game, it's all about keeping the edge on the clock. She challenges the knight on the c5 square. Now, again, a challenge to the c file, and it's white now attempting to take over the c file, also with the edge on the clock as well. Look at these weird knights on b2 and b7.
Being pedo knights.
Yeah, bizarre. They're gonna have to get back in the game at some point. But still, the game is more or less equal. It's just the clock. Sabina now down to only 22 seconds left, and she's gonna have to find a way to make some moves. And the queen landing now on the c7 square, and it looks as though she's gonna have to defend that, and she has done so. Knight to e5. White is certainly better here, and ahead of the clock. Sabina's gonna have to hurry up. Her position now deteriorating. She's lost a pawn. Now dropping the knight back, and she's starting to play quickly again. Only 11 seconds for Forza, and Crush seemingly having the game under control for the moment. Knight c3 defending everything. And now attacking a pawn, trying to make a comeback. It looks like she's won her pawn back suddenly, and now she's up a pawn. 6 seconds on the clock.
Sabina do it again.
Can Sabina come back in this game as she's moving king? Only 4 seconds. She's whipped off another pawn. Now she's up at knight, but will she be able to win the game? Only 1 second on the clock, trying to blitz it through, and and it looks she's run out of time. She's run out of time. Unfortunately, Lady Luck was not with her twice in a row as the winner Crush has managed to win that game.
Great series of the games. Now I gotta ask everybody to clear out this area and either sit down or step back, because we are going to be changing sets here for the blindfold exhibition. Okay, let me know when you've got it.
It's blindfold.
It's very light.
You should bring a queen.
I was back on this on number 1. That's good.
We need a volunteer to blindfold Anna Zakonski. Usually she picks
Alejandro volunteered quickly there.
Usually she likes to pick one of the youngest players in the audience. No, I think we've got younger.
Does she know how to blindfold? You know how to put a blindfold on someone? Where's the blindfold?
It's right here.
Here we go. You gotta come over here.
And what's your name? Irina, perfect.
Irina?
Blindfolding Anna. That sounds perfect.
I'm sure that's what our Irina would love to have happen every time she played Anna.
Although I would probably play almost as well. She's known as very
You gotta
strong.
put the blindfold on. You know how to put the blindfold on? I think she's confused about this.
Maybe
You gotta
somebody.
cover her eyes. There you go. Now you gotta make it fold. You gotta fold it a little bit. Okay. You do that side, and I'll go over here.
Yeah, Maurice can help a little bit.
Can we see? Can you see?
How old are you, Irina?
Can you still see?
6 years old, Irina.
Anna, can you see? No, you can't. Okay. Well, we got to tie this. You know how to tie this? Nah, she's not ready to tie. I'll tie it.
Do you want to come on over and help Maurice tie it? What's her name? Kira? Kira's going to come help Maurice tie it.
This is how you do it. Like that. There you go, like that. You want it.
So this is what we really want for this exhibit, Ladies Night, and her turn. Get more girls into the game so that one day,
Do it again.
just actually a few years from now, if they're as talented as Carissa Yip, they could also be playing in the U.S. Women's Championship.
Good?
Yeah, good.
Is it tight enough?
Okay.
All right, so
You comfortable?
Yes.
Okay.
Anna Zakonski is now blindfolded, and she is going to be playing Lulu, who's actually a chess associate for the club, and I've actually seen some of her lectures on YouTube. I really want to play.
Marina's like, I'm here to play. We don't have the blindfold nonsense. Or I thought you were calling me over to play the game. Don't worry, in about 3 years she'll be in the U.S. Women's Championship.
Where's the clock?
We just need the clock. Game 10, oh, here we go. Thank you very much, Richard. So I'll be hitting the clock and making the moves for Anna. We're not going to make her hit the clock blindfold. What's the most number of games that you've played blindfold?
10.
I've actually played 10 blindfold games simultaneously. But the twist here is that it's also a blitz game, so both players only have 10 minutes.
And may I, again, I like feeling the cozy atmosphere. You guys don't have to sit. You can come up. I don't know that the board is that visible, so if you want to stand and watch, it's not a big deal.
Yeah,
You want to come in and get closer so you can see what's going on. It's very hard to see on those screens, I know. So if you want to stand and
The
watch.
overhead view can be a little bit tricky, but there is a screen over here too, so if you prefer that, yeah.
But otherwise, you can come right up. Certainly, Anna will not be distracted.
That's right, and maybe leave this screen unobstructed in case somebody wants to watch it from that way. So let's get
Lulu doesn't
started.
look like she's going to be
Do you want
distracted.
to try to do a blindfold handshake?
So I'm assuming this side that Anna has is right.
I'm gonna start off.
All right, so we're going to give her a microphone. So she can,
Yeah, E4.
Actually, I'll give her mine.
Okay.
okay, E4, you have to press the button.
You want to take my microphone, Anna?
Yeah, you can talk into the mic. So she's playing E5.
Knight of 3.
Bishop to C5.
Bishop C4.
Just.
Beautiful set by Crystal Fischetti, who actually wanted this.
D6 has been played.
Who actually really wanted this set to be played on. She wanted it to be a living art piece.
Knight to F6.
C3.
I hear that Lulu's been preparing especially for this game. Knight to C6.
D4.
Maurice knew that move was going to come before she played it.
You could tell she was setting that one up. Bishop to B6.
What?
Bishop back to B6.
Pawn takes E5. D takes E5.
Just about 9 minutes for both players.
People often marvel at the ability of chess players at this level to see the board in their minds. Pawn takes on E5, D takes E5.
Queen takes D8.
Trade of queens with check. King captures D8,
Bishop takes F7.
temporarily gaining a pawn for Anna. Knight takes E4.
Bishop D5.
Bishop to D5. A little bit more respectful commentary when you're blindfolded because it's so much harder to do with distraction, but so far handling it quite well. Knight to F6.
Bishop takes C6.
B takes C6.
Knight takes E5.
Now whipping out the moves, winning another pawn, or at least I should say winning back the pawn once again. And keeping the lead on the clock at the moment with 8:22 to 7:27. Bishop to B7.
Knight F7.
Knight F7 with check.
Check.
Very powerful move. King to E7.
Knight takes H8.
Rook captures H8. Now white is up in exchange.
Knight D2.
Now hurrying to bring out her pieces into the game. Black's going to have to get some kind of counterplay, being down material at the moment. How many people in this room could not do this? Could not imagine doing it? A lot of hands going up, yeah. Pretty remarkable feat. I first realized I could do this when I was about 18 years old.
I couldn't.
That's because I studied. You can't do it with your eyes open. Right? That we know to be true.
Thank you.
But it's certainly something that you acquire after lots and lots of study. And grandmasters will often just talk to each other with just the moves. Rook to D8. Rook to D8.
Knight C4.
Just a few words about this chess set. It's called Sun versus Moon, and it's supposed to represent the masculine energy of the sun versus the feminine energy of the moon. It's by Crystal Fischetti, who's a London and Los Angeles-based artist, and it's really gorgeous. I mean, it's just so fun to watch people play on such a beautiful set.
And how much is it?
Fantastic conception of a set. Knight to D5.
Bishop G5. Check.
Now with over 2 minute lead on the clock is Anna, and just how to play the move Bishop to G5 check. And Lulu's opted for King to F8.
Bishop takes D8.
And that has cost her a rook. Not a good situation now, down a massive amount of material. Will Anna be able to finish the game off? 7:35 on the clock to 5:07.
It's actually wood.
Is it really?
Difficult situation for black now. No real counterplay to speak of, and the two white rooks menacingly ready to come into the game.
Yeah, I think I'm going to resign.
And Lulu is resigning. Very time to do so. This will win kudos to Anna for handling that quite well. Good job, Anna. Usually when you come out of blindfold exhibition, too long, your eyes take a while to adjust back to the light. But that wasn't so bad after all.
So one small surprise. We're gonna redo one more piece of Ladies' Night. My piece right over there. Make it, Jess. So, any volunteers?
No, thank you. No.
Cheers. So that was wonderful. Congratulations, Anna. Thank you so much, Maurice, Maurice, Anna, and Lulu. Lulu, very brave.
Thank you for joining us, everyone.
And just a few more words about this exhibit, Ladies' Night. It's going to be open until May 1st if you didn't get a chance to see all the pieces. It's all about promoting women in chess. We really want there to be more girls and women playing the game. Right now it's somewhere between 5 to 20% depending on the age group, and we'd really like to see it be more like 50-50. Tonight, of course, I see lots of young women in the audience, and of course our wonderful competitors at the Women's Championship, so that is very encouraging. And another fact that Mike Klein for Chess.com pointed out that we've been trumpeting, there are 33 women who've earned the Grandmaster title, one of them Irina Krash. They're all alive. So that's incredible. That just goes to show you how far women's chess has come. And I think that there's definitely a few future Grandmasters in this room and in this tournament. So it's really wonderful to see. There's also Her Turn on the third floor, which is a little bit more of a historical take on women in chess. This is the art side. That's more the history side. Shannon Bailey curated this show, and Emily Allred curated the show on the third floor. So I encourage you all to make sure to check them all out. Tomorrow we actually have another artist in town. Yes, Debbie Hahn.
Yeah, she's in this room.
Yes, she's in. Her piece is called Battle of Conception, and it's right there in the center. She's going to be giving an artist talk tomorrow at 6:30. So I encourage any of you who can make it to come out to that. I will be there. So thanks everybody for coming. It was a wonderful evening, and I hope you all will be playing more of Bunkhouse, Bullet, and Blindfold after this.
Thanks, everyone.
And one last thing, in addition to Debbie's talk, tomorrow, next Tuesday, next week we have 4 events going on the chess campus. We've got the closing ceremonies of the chess championships on Tuesdays. On Tuesday and Wednesday, we have an evening with the 4